Alright, here we are in Carrier Coral Sea. Turn 8 for the Japanese has not started off well at all. First thing, they got a really nasty roll on their mission movement, a 10. That means just about anything that's in the restricted area within 8 hexes of an airbase, which includes these carriers, isn't going anywhere. It's not going to come any closer to its target. It's not going to continue mission movement. It's standing off. That's a problem because I think the Japanese do want to try to make their hit on Moresby. That's their only chance at this point. Well, they're doing a lot of damage here to the Lexington, so we'll see. That thing might be going down. And then this Fleet 11 went, or Combat Unit 11. And that had a carrier in it that I hadn't checked damage for. It took enough damage, it was almost guaranteed, I think, that it was sunk. And now that force is retiring, which is just really this cruiser force here, which is going to try to get back to Rabaul or off the map. But Rabaul is closer, so they're heading that way for now, unless the U.S. kind of gets in their way there. Alright, on to U.S. turn for this. The Japanese are still paralyzed, unable to move closer to this force as I move into 3, but I'm wondering here if they're aware of this. I gotta look in the rolls because the Lexington is burning down to the sea at this point. It took another damage, it's down to D, it can no longer move, clouds of smoke coming out, it may go under. I could scuttle the damn thing, but I gotta look up to see, hey, am I freezing the Japanese forces for no reason? This is the thing that's holding them off, and it's dead in the water now. And if they have any search planes or anything over there, they should know that. Crap. Yeah, it's got to have an operable flight deck. So for the past couple of phases, I've had the entire Japanese fleet hemmed out. This is one of those, I know I'm cheating, but I don't want to try to undo it all. It's in a lot of trouble. We're going to see if these can start slipping by now. They will be able to come closer. They've got a problem, though. They got Port Moresby, and they won't come closer to that. Of course, it's got an operable deck, but no planes except for the cap. It's no threat. But when I look up, and yeah, you know, you got to put so many things together to get this right. I find this really tough. But when you look up 2.2, which is this, here's one of the things. Numerical referencing in this is not as good as I'm used to in, say, an SPI game or something. And maybe Victory Games has this tendency, if I recall. They tend to make rather large segments under one number. For example, character displays in air operation 7.1. There's no sub values to this, and it's page after page. That makes it harder to find things. But here, and you know, when you add in no cross-referencing on the charts, etc., it all adds up. Okay, let's look at air sources. A carrier with an operating flight deck, a U.S. land base with an operating runway in which has at least 3 steps of bombers or torpedo blades. Okay, so I would say the Japanese are unrestricted at this point. They're going to start sailing towards Moresby, and it's not going to be a problem. And, you know, maybe they just weren't aware of the Lexington's problems, and now they're seeing how bad it is. End of Phase 3, I'm turning the Yorktown in towards these. It's more important that I handle these. I can allow Guadalcanal to fall. I cannot allow Moresby to fall. That's the primary objective here. I don't even have Henderson Field. I'm assuming Guadalcanal is not considered a major factor in this battle. Some of the planes coming in of Strike Force 1 under here fell in the drink. Some of the stuff that's, you know, evaded no possible chance of any of them making it. But I've got some of the fighters, etc., coming in. But this is... you know, at one point I thought, wow, I got it nailed down. Well, that last hit on the Lexington is just, you know, really spiraled from what looked like a moderate hit that I could recover from to the thing is really looking questionable. And once you get significant losses on the ship, it becomes pretty iffy. The repair table gets really ugly. It's down at the D level. I only succeed on a 9 or 10. Well, but I have a -1 because of the date. I don't have the capability to repair as easily as I would in other scenarios. And then this is going to start causing more damage. Eventually the ship is just obviously sinking and you may want to scuttle it, because I can no longer move that task force even. At least I could try to get in there. I've got heavy cruisers. Maybe I could get in for a close action attack. I don't know the rules for that yet. But anyway, we're moving on to the 4th phase. End of the turn 8 here. Let's move these up. Port Moresby's completely repaired. This airstrike here ran into more than it expected. A bunch of destroyers. There's 8 destroyers and a light cruiser there. But neither Cap nor the heavy anti-air available was able to do much. And I've got hits here. 4 more hits on this guy. He only had 1 coming to him. 6 more hits on this guy. Shit, I can't remember which number's which. I'm constantly looking this up. Hit capacities on the right. Yeah, 6 more hits on him. Well, that may not sink him, but I'm hoping I at least neutralize his carrier. That'll put him in a retire position just like this guy. I'm trying to bomb some of these ships on the way back. I'm assuming casualties to the enemy ships, even if it's just screening forces, is going to affect my victory conditions. And I don't have anything else located right now. I really have to get searches into play to try to hunt down these transports, because they are the problem. They're what can take Port Moresby. Again, I don't know what the victory conditions are. I'm playing this kind of blind, but I don't really care what they are, to tell you the truth. I'm not trying to optimize victory conditions. I'm looking at, I want to take down the Japanese fleet, and I damn well don't want to lose my bases. That would be a real problem in my view. Alright, looks like we're moving into another turn this way. Now we're coming close to the end. Once we hit these last couple turns, it becomes harder. Like, Japanese air forces are cognizant of the fact that nighttime's coming. I probably won't be, but they will be, if I can remember. And so that they're less likely to launch, say, a second strike or something, or strikes that would have to land at night. They're forbidden from launching. I should be too. I don't necessarily want to deal with this, but yeah. We don't know what's going to happen. And of course the poor old Lexington. Not getting any worse, but not getting any better either. And I'm really just 2 spaces away from going under. Well, I think when this gets crossed off I am under. I'm not sure. That wouldn't make sense. But that's the way the rules seem to be stated. Alright, end of 2 rounds here in turn 9. And, well, Squadron 6 had to check the hits that they took for confirmation. Both carriers sunk. Seemed very likely they would. But the Ryuho had a chance of surviving yet again, miraculously, but it didn't this time. We're over the fleet commitment, the retirement limit. Retirement limit was 31. We're up to 36. Now that does not mean that the fleets automatically retire. I thought it would. I found a chart, and now I lost it. There it is. And yeah, there's no referencing where. They just say in the carrier screen or something like that. They don't say, there's no, it doesn't say which one of these 2 screens. It differentiates enough that you know it's one of the openable ones, I guess. But we're at 1-to-1, which means at the end of the turn I'll be making a check to see if I can roll a 2, a 1 or a 2. In which case the entire Japanese force is just going to turn around and say we've had it. That could be a godsend, because right now I've got transport just about ready to hit Guadalcanal. It's already moved this turn. If they turn around and leave, that means the invasion won't happen. If they don't leave, well, I got to inflict some more losses, and that's going to be tough to do. There aren't a lot more carrier points. Getting this up even to 1.3, we're talking getting that up to 40. That may be possible, but it's going to be tough to find the things to hit. I'm trying to harass these, but they don't seem to matter towards it. I think. I may have forgotten something there, but anyway, that's all I got here to say. Oh yeah, landing stuff. Most of the fighters have landed on the Yorktown, but a few of them fell in the drink instead, and we're slowly cycling through. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to fit on here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard to tell which way it's facing. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 22, 23 steps. I got room for one more step. So I have got to get things airborne before these airstrikes make it back. And one of them, at least, this airstrike 4, is on the way back. So these things are going to have to go up. And this becomes this really ugly juggling act. I wish I was closer to Port Moresby so I could, you know, allocate some of my planes there. Oops. Forgot about one thing. Lexington's gone. It went under. That's not good. Put these back there. It was never going to recover anyway. Goes down with all planes. And one big carrier gone. That's not good. At the very least though, now I've got another task force I can start steaming around with. But I certainly do not have another place to land on anytime in the near future. Got another natural one. It just basically broke up and exploded. And that's a big loss. Granted, I've hit a couple of Japanese carriers, so it's not too bad, I guess. Just one heavy, though. And that, in terms of the effect it's had on me, I don't feel like that is the match of these guys. I don't know. You'd think the Japanese carriers should be about equal, but, and it may just be my picture of it because I'm fiddling all my planes around and doing all this stuff, but it feels more painful to lose a carrier than it felt good to sink one. But when I take down a CVL and a CVE2, yeah, I probably shouldn't be too unhappy about losing one, I guess. I hope. Alright, we'll see how that scores at the end of this. And I hope they turn around and leave because, well, I can pursue them and start hitting them, but if they do leave, but I don't know if I can stop them from taking even Moresby. I should be able to. I don't have, they don't have carriers, but they're running away from me towards their target, which means they're not blocked by my air power. No matter how close I get, they can keep running away from me. And the third phase ends with an ineffectual airstrike, completely ineffectual against this group, which got revealed. I discovered it. A light cruiser, a bunch of destroyers. I think 6 destroyers. But no damage. Just one die, bad roll on it. No damage to the planes either, but, you know, they're quite a ways out. They may not all make it. Which is okay. I probably don't have room for them all anyway. Poor pilots. Alright. So we go into the final phase of this, and then, hey, maybe the Japs will just turn around and run. And bang, there we go. It isn't over, though. I still got a chance to chase them. Score some more hits, maybe. There isn't much the Japanese can do other than invading one of the locations. Now, there isn't a lot of daylight left either, so it may well be that they're just going to pretty much get out of there. I'm not sure I want to fly under Rabaul and suffer the possibility of what that can do. It's still got full air power. Of course, I could still bombard that. Hitting that up might do me some good. I should probably look at the victory chart but we're going to go into another turn no matter what here. Well, I was thinking about conducting the pursuit, but I'm really questioning it right now. I start looking at this, the victory point schedule here, and, you know, it's only going to be a point or two to knock out even a cruiser. I look at this, well, Japanese carriers sunk 2 times air value. Let's see what we got. I just want to get a feel for this. This is 10, 16, 19. That's 38 points for me. Japanese air points lost. Beyond that, I don't even know. Not being used to this, it's hard to tell, but what does C4 have? Because they haven't taken any hits. They took, I think, 2 points, so I'm at 40 now. U.S. carrier sunk as hangar capacity. That means the Japanese are going to get... this had 22. Air steps lost. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 30 steps plus a few more. That's 7 more points. That puts me at around 29 for the Japanese. When it comes down to it, and I look at the other factors here, looks like 10 more points for that. I don't remember what I was at, 30, somewhere around 40, around 50 to 29. We're talking about not quite 2 to 1. And, you know, I think I'm just going to end up with a marginal victory no matter how I cut it. I just don't think I'm going to get enough points to factor in it being worth chasing the Japanese up here. Doing a few more videos of that kind of attempted running and juggling. What I'd really like to do is kind of try to juggle my planes and make it back to Moresby, because to tell you the truth, I'm probably going to lose several steps as much as I gain, at least in terms of the proportional value of the victory. So I'm going to call this one off. I'm going to end it here. I thought I was going to handle the pursuit. I usually like doing a pursuit, but here I think the cost of the pursuit would actually exceed the value that I might gain from it. Now, is there a possibility of something interesting happening? Could the Japanese carrier here, which honestly only has 2 air points, 2 Japanese air strength points, which aren't the same as, like, you know, it's not like 2 steps, it's bigger than that. But it's not a huge force. It's not going to be able... We saw that hit before, and it was not able to do much. Those little carriers just aren't able to harm. Probably wouldn't even be able to harm ships in here. So, you know, to me, it's just kind of a... Okay, it might be interesting as a denouement, but to tell you the truth, I don't think it's worth the effort. As to the game itself, it's hard to judge whether I would have won if I wasn't cheating. Accidentally, of course. You know, the early sort of surprise situation that the U.S. got by being able to do more searches than they would have been able to do within the rules of the game, I think definitely slanted things in their favor a little bit. Other things I may have screwed up in it, who knows which way they went. But, you know, my understanding is that this is a pretty tough game, and it's fairly unlikely that I would have won if I knew what I was doing. Alright, I'm going to load this all up and just call this a wrap. I'll come back with the review for it.